Hi folks, in today's video tutorial I'm going to show you how to transform 3D model to assembly and how to transform the imported data. I got the model from use, so let's have a look how the model looks like and let's start. I'd like to reuse some import data doctor functionality or simple base modeling. First of all, I would like to open the 3D model from the working directory. So we would like to have a look on all files, and we can see that we have a step file here. If you would like to open, the system asks you if you would like to use your custom template. So for example, your company standard, you can mark here as the use template or the simple only open. The log file I don't need, so simple confirm OK, and model will be opened directly. If you see the menu manager, if you are using template, please don't use the Control A, because the system will not apply all parameters and relation to your model, so you have to select and return. For the big assembly, you have to click more than one time, so it's depend about the size of model or assembly. If you do not use the template, then you can simply use the Control A as the shortcut, and system will load whole assembly really quickly. We can see in the model tree that we have a one import feature, but the guy who sent me this model mentioned it that it before was the assembly, but was merged as one part, so we have to really make it one by one. So let's have a look in the edit definition tab, and I'd like to really jump to the import data doctor. So we can see here that everything is as a one body. So what you are able to do, you can select drop down menu as the filter and select the surfaces. You can select surfaces one by one, or you can use the filter and select as rectangle. Yeah, similar to another software selection. If you will select necessary surfaces, then in the right mouse button, you have a couple of possibilities. The function is detach. Also from the ribbon, you can select icon here. And what does it mean? The system will select the quilt and separate it. Also, you can do it for the another one. As I mentioned, you can select the surfaces by the rectangle, but for this particular model, I'd like to really use only separate surfaces and again detach. Last but not least is this simple shape, but more surfaces, and I will select it one by one. You can see that it's not so bad. Yeah, also detach. And what does it mean? We have a 1, 2, 3, and then the rest. Let's have a look what the system is able to do. If you will select the object, many times I'm using the combine and then collapse. What the system will do, the system will collapse the necessary information. If you will select more surfaces, you have to combine it and then collapse, and then system will merge selected surfaces all together. For now, let's have a look if I will confirm this functionality. In the design items, we can see that we have a couple of quilts. The first quilt, maybe we can rename, and that will be main. And then we can simple route what we need. So 01B, yeah, something like this. This one is the 03. This one is the 03B. It's only simple that I will know what I would like to select, and it will be faster. Yeah, so simple. We can see what we would like to select for future selection. So the quilts are defined and everything is in the import geometry. Yeah, so everything is right now merged. Now we can create new 3D assembly. So I will create new assembly. We will call it, for example, 3D. And now we are able to add the component from the session and make a constraint as default, or you can orient as you want. Over here you can see that system recognizes some problems by import. You can use the right mouse button, and over there is function import validation. You can quickly and easy disable import validation, because the system also only show you that over there is some mistakes. We don't want to use this model anymore, so I am able to disable this warning message. It's also useful if you have a really big assembly and sometimes the system show you some mistakes by import. If you would like to continue, I said that we would like to transform this model as the separate object, so it's necessary to create 3D model directly in assembly. So we will create the object, the 001. You can use your custom name, but as the first object I will use this one. For now I don't need to use the template, I will use the empty, and if I will confirm, the system will apply the model to the model tree. If we will activate this model directly, anything what we will make a copy or create, the system will move information to activate model. So from the part, the source part, we are able right now to select quilts, and it was reason that I changed the names. And as I said, we can select, for example, these two quilts and make a copy. Best practice is if you do it one by one, so select the quilt and simple Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and confirm, and then also select the another quilt, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and Ctrl. If I will select drop down menu here, you see that my two copy objects are in the model 001. If I will use the Ctrl+A, the system will activate main assembly. We are able to create second model 002 and confirm OK. And for example, in 002, we are able to copy the another information. So we can simply to select and activate. And again, select 002, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, simple copy and paste, and again, copy and paste. In the model tree, we can see that it's everything, and we can continue with another models. So if we would like to create a new one, I will use the Ctrl+A again to activate assembly, and we will create the main model as the empty part. Simple, we are able to use the drag and drop, and I would like to move it upstairs, yeah, because it makes sense that the main one will be first one, activate, and again we can simply select that main surfaces will be in main object, so copy and paste. Our model right now, and also the for model tree, I think that is the same, it's not necessary to continue. What we would like to do is, maybe I can show you on the main model. What we need to do is to open this model, and we can see that over there is the couple of holes which are closed and couple of objects are not closed. Yeah, so let's have a look. It's a copy geometry, so we have to really reuse the surface modeling if you would like to continue, or you can simply use the extrude feature and reuse geometry. But it's complicated because right now it's a little bit complicated shape, and you will spend a couple of minutes with the extrude, revolve feature, round feature, and so on. So it's better to continue with boundary blend feature, and as you can see, we are able to select the curves. The curve is not created as the one, so we have to select with the shift button the necessary edges as the chain in the first direction. And if we would like to continue, we will continue here with the selection, so opposite direction, meaning second direction with the control button, and then use the shift button and system will continue. What the system do here, the system use the start point. Yeah, so you have to move it that the shape will be not torque, but it will be straight. Yeah, so you can simply to move and confirm OK. And what does it mean? The first surface is created, and we need to continue with another boundary blend. Doesn't matter where you start. So with you can see here that over here is the start point, and if I will continue with the shift button, we are able to move where I want. So over here, for example, will be first direction. With control, I will select the another side, and with shift button the another edges. So another surface looks good, confirm OK, and last but not least is this object. And again, maybe we can move here to start point, and with control button we will select the another edges. Perfect. So it was really quickly how to create boundary blend. If you would like to know more about boundary blend feature, please check the previous tutorials. In the model tree, now we can see that we have everything separated. And if you would like to create the merge feature, yes, of course, you can select all quills which are created and use the merge feature. Now the system create a merge, and then we are able to create solidify. Yeah, so simple, perfect, and now your object is created and is solid. So what does it mean? In the View tab, if you would like to select the section, and you will see that everything is defined as solid. That's great. So first model is solid, and over there is last question. If you would like to see all these geometry, and this copy geometry is dependent of the original model. If I would like to make it independent, I am able to select the features from the model tree, use the functionality edit and collapse, and simple confirm OK. Over there the system will mention that what will be collapsed and so on, but without explanation, everything is collapsed, and right now the system thinks that it's imported geometry. If I will select the definition, you will see that you are also able to use the import data doctor and use the functionality. I will show you in another example. So the first 3D model is created and also separated. So in future, if we will delete this data, the main model will be exist as necessary. I mentioned that I'd like to show you some import data doctor modification. So if I will open this simple model, we can continue with the same logic with the boundary blend. So select with the shift feature in the first direction, have a look where is the start point, and if you will select the control button, you can select and shift button the necessary information. If the shape is right, you can confirm with middle button, and everything is done. Now we can use the same logic, select everything and use merge and solidify. But maybe we would like to know more about the import data doctor. So we will specify and select the objects from the model tree we will use before the collapse. So what does it mean? The system thinks that is the imported geometry. And if I will select the definition in import data doctor, you are able to check if it's everything fine. And also the quilt which has been created outside, I can create it here. So it depends where you would like to create a boundary blend feature. But what I'd like to show you in the geometry check, that now if you do it like this, the system will show you that the surfaces which has been not merged are not connected properly, so the system wrote that it is unsatisfied wireframe. So best practice is select right mouse button and select problem geometry, and then you are able to use the function repair. Yeah, if I will confirm OK, now you can see that everything is connected, no more errors. So in the geometry check, one more time, we do not have errors, and we are able to create geometry. You can try. Yeah, if you will create it like this, the system do not create properly the solidify feature. Openly sometimes works, sometimes not. If it is not working, select geometry, use the solidify feature, and then again you are able to use the collapse feature with OK functionality, and everything is fine. So as you can see, now everything works fine, and also the edited geometry is working well. Yeah. How I know that the geometry is solid? You can see default color is gray. If we will select the definition, the blue color means that we have a surfaces. So model is from surfaces. So in this example was the updating the another way, and last but not least, I'd like to show you this model and we will do it everything by import data doctor. Yeah, so select object, use the collapse feature, you know how to use it, simple edit definition, and jump into import data doctor. Over here we can select the boundary blend. The logic is same. Yeah, select with the shift button the necessary curves, with the control button opposite direction, and with shift button continue with the selection. Everything is fine. But now you have 3 separate quilts. Before you do it by collapse feature, so everything was all together. I mentioned a few minutes ago that if you have many quilts and you would like to have only one, use the combine functionality, select it again, and collapse. Now the system will create only one quilt, and in the geometry check you can, or you have to, validate if you have some gaps or some connections problem. So gaps means that you have to add components and entity to the wireframe. So if you will select the gaps, you are able to select problem geometry, and the system will show you where is the problem, and with this button add to wireframe, the system will put all this information all together. And also, if you will select unsatisfied wireframe, select problem geometry, and you are able to repair and only confirm. So nothing is problem, or no problems are here. So simple, confirm OK, and we can use the same logic that we will solidify feature and then collapse. Okay, so over here was the 3 examples how to work with and transform your data. And in the first one we have made, I will open it again, we have used directly the boundary blend, and then when everything was created we have used the collapse functionality. The second thing was with a similar logic that we have created first feature and then add some information in by import data doctor. In the third example we have made whole geometry directly in the import data doctor. But last but not least is the third component. It's really easy, yeah, that we will create new 3D model 003, and we will activate the model and select the surface 03, Control C, Control V, confirm. If you don't like the Control C, Control V, you can use this button. Yeah, over here is Control C and over here is Control V. So it's the same. Select the 03 surface and copy and paste and confirm. For confirmation in Creo, I always use the middle button. So if you see that it's so fast, so this is the reason that I use the middle button for the confirmation. Now, as you can see here, this is a really simple shape, but as an example, it's quite good. I'd like to use that you can also create some, for example, extrude feature. You are able to project data as the loop, for example, so everything will be projected. Yep. And if I would like to finish this feature, we are able to select over here. If I will move it a little bit, it will be faster, to reference, and we will select the bottom reference. So we have created quickly the geometry. It will be a little bit complicated. You can create more extrude or revolve feature or round features. Also, you are able to reuse the flexible modeling for the quick modification. But what to do with these 2 surfaces? Because everything is migrated, yeah, so from the external source as the step file, for example. So again, we are able to use the edit, collapse, and confirm OK, but the geometry which has been used as the copy geometry, dependent copy geometry, was destroyed. So now, with the import data doctor, the 2 quilts which has been copied by Control C, Control V, I'm able to delete. Also, the item planes, if you don't want to have a look here, you can simply delete, no problem. Yeah, it's up to you. So you can see that we have more than one, so one is good enough. And if we will confirm OK, the geometry is clear. And now, in the main assembly, the source object can be deleted because we do not have any connection to existing model, because every copy geometry has been destroyed by collapse functionality. So in this simple example, you have seen that you are able to use the copy functionality, import data doctor, boundary blend, destroy the connection or make the object as imported geometry. I call it like this. It's a collapse functionality and much more. I hope so that you like this tutorial, and also thank you for the model and the question. Take care and bye-bye. Vladimir.